Mancity 6, Manchester United 3. Josh, it wasn't the game we all expected. It wasn't the result we anticipated. How do you feel today, mate?
So we say it wasn't the result that we anticipated or expected, but to be quite honest, I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was, but I did kind of feel this was coming. The reason being,
You mean the thrashing?
well, the loss.
The loss.
So because we had a good stretch of games, we had momentum, and then the Queen died,
Yes.
postponed everything, international break,
Right.
and I think having that break really kind of took away all the momentum that we had. I think had we gone and played this match 2 weeks ago,
2 weeks ago.
I think it would have been a different story, honestly. But I think that break really interrupted our momentum, and we kind of lost that feeling of, wow, we can really win games, we can dominate games.
Right.
And I think you saw that today, honestly.
Man City seemed a bit sharper because they did play a game extra than us before the whole thing was shut down. Did you think United's midfield was the problem, or was it the defense that just struggled in the whole game to concede so many goals?
So, I don't know, it's hard to say. One of the things that I did, one positive that I took away from today was that all the goals that were scored, Manchester City created.
Right.
Whereas if you think about in the past, goals that we've conceded has been mistakes that have been made in our defensive third.
Right.
Harry Maguire going and doing his thing.
Right.
Other things whereas like today, okay, we didn't make mistakes, but a lot of times it happened like in the midfield, we give it the ball, but they still had to go and create chances. So for me, it's like even though we gave up that many goals, I feel like our defense was better than it has been in prior defeats of this magnitude. So again, that doesn't mean that it's great, but the fact that Man City's a good team.
Without a doubt. They are the best in England. They are the defending champions. It is what it is.
And I'm sorry, Haaland is just an excellent striker. I mean, he's just good. So
You got 2 players scoring 2 hat-tricks against Man United. Never been done before. And the introduction of Anthony Martial, how would you talk about that situation when Anthony Martial came on?
no, I mean, I think he more or less had a positive influence once he came on. I mean, I think at that point it was already kind of too late, right? But I think going back to Tony, I mean, we know the talent that he has, and we know that he hasn't been living up to it. So I was glad that he was able to make some kind of impact when he came on. Again, at that point, it was just kind of like, well, it's just, consolation. But no, I mean, I think all in all, that was a good outing for him. And I hope that, like, again, he just needs to build his confidence back so that he can start going and scoring goals like he used to.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you give United whole team performance today? Don't be shy. It is what it is.
No, I mean, I think for today, I give it a 5.
A 5.
Because I think we did have our moments. Well, and here's the also thing, like I said, is let's not take anything away from Man City. As much, I mean, they're our rivals. Okay, I hate them or whatever, but they're good. They're a good freaking team. Okay, like they play well. They played well today. You cannot take that away from them. I think, given our performance today, if we were playing against a different team, I think it would have been a different story. The fact of the matter is that we were playing against one of the best teams in the world today, and they exposed us. What did it? And we're not at that level, and that showed today. But I don't think that it was all just. I guess what I'm trying to say is that when I compare our loss today compared to the losses that we suffered, for instance, last season, where we got completely goaled up by Liverpool,
Mancity home and away.
I didn't feel like this was exactly the same.
Right.
I felt that our performance was
You saw an improvement.
I feel like when we got completely thrashed in the past, it was because we were playing badly, not because the other team was playing that much better than us.
Yeah.
I feel like we got thrashed today because the team that we were playing was just playing well.
Right.
So I think there's a difference to be said, and that's why I'm like, definitely wasn't the result we wanted today, but I'm not completely disheartened by it as I was last season.
Last question. Eric Ten Hag, selection, substitution, tactics today. What are you going to grade him on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm probably going to give him a 6. It's, I really feel like that time lapse between the last one and that did make a difference. as a manager, I'm not exactly sure what you do to try to go and get people, ready for such a match of this magnitude, given that break. But I mean, it's like, yeah, you would have felt him to do better, but I can't actually go and point out specific things that I would have said, no, he should have done this and not that, because I think the lineup that we had out there was a decent side. I think the substitutions that were made, were not bad substitutions. So it's like, okay, yeah, I would have liked us to have done better. Manager of his caliber, I would have liked to have him to figure things out. And that was another thing with Fergie, right? I could have the changes that he made. Sometimes I would have never said this is what needs to be done, but he just figured it out, and then we won.
Right.
And that's what a great manager is. And with Ten Hag today, it's like, okay, no, we didn't get the result, but I can't actually really find specific faults with what was done, because I think ultimately, if you looked at on paper what was put out there, it's like, okay, no, I mean, it's a decent lineup. So.
All right, Josh, thank you very much. It wasn't the result we expected. We lost by 6 goals to 3. At one point, it was 4-0, then 5-0, then 5-1, then 6-1, but it is not the result, the best result. It is respectable, but I'm still disappointed we got beaten. As Josh said, it's not as bad as last season, because let's give respect, City were really a very well team. With Haaland in that team now, it gives them even a better setup, and it was hard for us to contend with them. It is what it is. Glory, glory!